Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, for today's video, I'm going to be doing a conspiracy theory video. Very excited about this one because homegirl loves her conspiracy theory. I try to pick some that you've probably never heard of. I don't know if you have. If you have, then... But I've never heard of these, so, and I'm a hashtag conspiracy theorist. I'm really not. I just love conspiracy theory. Also, spooky season's coming, so I might do more of these or some kind of creepy-ish videos because it is September, the end of September. Gonna be October, so also I'm kind of trying to improve my background a little bit. I put some lights up, I can barely see, and okay, so for the first conspiracy, since I'm a conspiracy theorist now, is the TV cable spying theory. So basically, sorry if I'm out of breath, I just ran up the stairs. Whew. So basically this theory is that in your TV cable, however you say it, I'm really out of breath. This is not to spy on citizens, and the government started that so they could take a peek in your life, I guess. I don't know. Well, actually I do know why, but the information that gets collected from when they're spying on you gets sent to the CIA for investigation or for ads that get sent to you. So for the first evidence or proof or whatever, in February in 2017, Vizio televisions were fined $2.2 million by Federal Trade Commission, gathering data of 11 million consumers without their consent. So this means if you're the owner of this TV company, they were able to hear and see you even when your TV was turned off, and the information that was collected from when they were spying on you or whatever, shared with retailers to refine sale techniques to get buyers. So honestly, I feel like this is not even a conspiracy theory, it's fact, honey. There's actual evidence, and there's more evidence that I'm gonna get into in just a second. Now that I'm actually talking about this out loud, kind of sister spooked over here. Okay, so another piece of evidence is that one of the biggest companies for technology, Samsung, has even admitted to practicing similar techniques as Vizio televisions. They even admitted to it, so love that. So this next piece of evidence isn't tied into TV cable, but it still has something to do with spying on consumers, and it's on children and their parents. I mean, I'm sorry if I keep on touching my hair. I don't know why I keep doing that, but the company that made smart teddy bear revealed to collect recordings of 2 million kids and their parents. Imagine giving your kid a freaking toy for Christmas, oh honey, here's a toy, teddy bear, live it up, and then that company, gets exposed to freaking recording audio of the children and their parents. And I feel like this is not even the only toy company that does that. So for this next piece of evidence for the TV cable spying theory is that an international cable company filed for a U.S. patent for a home cable box. It could watch and listen to you, your eating, exercising, laughing, sleeping habits, along with so much more, so that that company could send you ads related to the things that you're doing in your everyday life. So say for example, a couple is fighting and the home cable box picks up on it from this company. It will send that couple ad related to couples therapy. Big companies do this to super target and profit by selling the data gathered to retailers. So basically this is not even a conspiracy theory, but it's still like kind of sister spooky. Companies do this and like we don't even think about it or realize it, but I mean now y'all do. That is the first conspiracy theory. Okay, so for this next conspiracy theory, it is the Big Pharma conspiracy. So this theory is that these pharmacy companies restrain from natural cures that are not patentable, so like they wouldn't be able to profit off of it because they're natural cures and they're not like the drugs that the pharmacies are giving these patients when they're sick. So when these pharmacy companies, they profit a lot of money off these sick patients who they're literally giving the unnatural drugs to, and they're less effective, so they'll have to keep on buying those drugs to help with their sickness, even though it's not helping as much as natural cures. So, I mean, I don't know about you, but I think so. I know a lot of people do believe that there is a cure for cancer already, and like the government or whatever is trying to hide it. Big Pharma debunks that theory. I'm not saying this is like fact, but this is like the conspiracy. So people think that the Big Pharma debunks that is because it can maintain business from those cancer patients that are needing those drugs constantly. It sounds really bad to say, like it really is. Disease means no, profit for these pharmacies or the doctors, right? That's where most of it comes from. Obviously, there's other sicknesses too. People even believe that companies create or make these diseases worse just so they can keep their profits up, which is like actually really sad because people are literally dying from this stuff. Like, I'm not saying it's true, but like people are dying from these diseases, and like say if this was a true conspiracy, like that's really effed up, like just so they could keep their profits up. But the counter of it is that most people don't believe this theory, is that because natural cures are like widely available everywhere. You could like search up online natural cures for blah 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 supermarkets and stuff. That's why kind of people don't believe this theory. That was all for conspiracy theory number 2. Got 2 more conspiracy theories. This next one's kind of long, so bear with me. Okay, so this next one is the poltergeist curse conspiracy, and I like actually kind of believe this one out of all of the ones. Well, obviously the first one 100% believe in, but like this one, the theory, I actually believe in, mostly for the most part. Some of it's just a coincidence. I'm gonna stop talking. So basically this theory is that the poltergeist films have like a curse to them due to the numerous occurrences of bad luck amongst the cast and crew. Now on to the evidence. The Poltergeist cast of like the original movies, not like the remake that was just out like 3 or 4 years ago, I don't know. So the cast had 4 deaths amongst those films. They were Dominique Duke, who played Dana Freeling, the first Poltergeist film, Carol Ann's older sister. The person with this was Heather O'Rourke. I don't know if I said her last name right. I probably butchered that, but played Carol Ann Freeling, which was a little girl who got like sucked up into the TV. And then Will Sampson, who played Taylor the Good Witch, the Good Spirit, and Julian Beck, who played the Evil Spirit. And two of those deaths that I just listed were more expected due to like there's certain causes of death, and 2 were really not so much. So Dominique Dune, who played Dana Freeling in the first Poltergeist film, was released in June of 1982. Died only 5 months later on November 4th, 1982, at a medical center in LA. So basically, Dune had like called it quits. Her abusive boyfriend, John Sweeney, on the night of October 30th, 1982, he went to the house they previously lived together in to beg her to take him back, and things went for a wrong turn, and he ended up strangling Dominique for 4 to 6 minutes, left her brain dead. Then 4 days later, she would die in a coma at the hospital. This one's actually really sad. I mean, obviously all deaths are sad, but like, this one's really sad because her own ex-boyfriend like killed her, and he was abusive, and I don't like abusers. So yeah, this one is just really sad. This is basically like the first piece of evidence, and the second one is Heather O'Rourke, who played Carol Ann Freeling, the little girl, suddenly passed away from septic shock. I think I said that right. On February 1st of 1988 at a children's hospital in San Diego, only at age 12. Basically, she was just like experiencing flu-like symptoms, and then led her to go into cardiac arrest. On the way to the hospital, her heart was then restarted, taken to a helicopter to be transported to the hospital. And then when she would get to the hospital, they did an operation on her to remove the obstruction. She ended up dying on the operation table. Before she died, she was even diagnosed with Crohn's disease. So this one was a little bit more unexpected because like it just escalated from flu-like symptoms of a little girl, 12-year-old little girl, and then she ended up going in cardiac arrest, being transported to a hospital, and then her dying on the operation table. And that's like really scary and sad. Like she had her whole life ahead of her. She was an amazing actress. Like you could just tell in those films that she really had a future ahead of her. She was in all 3 of the OG Poltergeist films. For I got a sister, I was gonna say sister notification, but that wouldn't have worked. So for the second piece of evidence, it's Julian Beck, who played evil spirit Kane in the Poltergeist 2 film in 1986. He died from stomach cancer on September 14th, 1985, at a hospital in New York. And then 6 months later, the film would get released on May of 1986. And then again, this death was more expected over the others because he had been diagnosed with cancer and he was battling with it for 18 months. But still super spooky. This last person is Will Sampson, who played Taylor the Good Spirit in the second Poltergeist film. And he died in a hospital in Houston on June 3rd, 1987, a year after the film was released. And then 6 weeks prior to his death, he received a heart-lung transplant, which resulted in pre-operative nutrition and post-operative kidney failure, along with a fungal infection. And his death was more expected over the others because his survival rate was kind of low for his certain condition. And then other deaths among the cast and crew were Zelda Rubinstein, Tangina Barron in all 3 of the Poltergeist films. I really don't know if I said her name right, like her character's name. I haven't watched Poltergeist in quite the while. And then she also reprised her role in the spin-off TV series Poltergeist: The Legacy. She died in 2010 of natural causes. And English film director Brian Gibson worked on the second Poltergeist film. Died in 2004 due to Ewing sarcoma. I really don't know if I said that right. I'm probably not saying any of the stuff I'm saying in this video correct. Probably should have looked up how to say this crap before I started the video, but I didn't. So yeah, that was the third conspiracy theory. I believe some of this is like more coincidence than a curse, but I was also reading some other things that weren't like death related, but like spooky things that happened. Like, I don't know, one of the cat or crew, she would come home and like her paintings or pictures on her walls would like fall down when she would come home from work or something like that. I remember reading that somewhere. That was a third conspiracy theory. And for the fourth, but definitely not last. I don't even. Oh, it's fourth but not least. Wait, last but not least. I'm telling you, I had a rough day, sister. I don't know what the flap I'm saying. So this theory, actually believe in too, is the President's Book of Secrets theory. Basically, this theory is that there is a book that has been passed down to the presidents, containing like a bunch of secrets and tips and tricks and yeah, about the United States and the United States history. The only people who know the location of this book is the president and the Library of Congress. If the president gets assassinated, the Library of Congress could just tell the new president, hey man, or girl, or whoever, this is where the book is at. Go snatch it. And the location of the book is changed once a new president is in office. Believed to have the truth about alien landings, Roswell, New Mexico, and the Rendlesham Air Base in the United Kingdom, other places of UFO sightings or happenings. And then the truth of the JFK and RFK assassinations, and information about the attacks that occurred on September 11th, 2001, before they even happened. So there's not like much evidence about this. So basically the only piece of evidence I have is that President Obama, during his 6th month in office, admitted that this book did indeed exist. He admitted to this in an interview with Michael Smirkonish. I'm not even trying to say words. When he asked Obama if he had seen the book, and then Obama replied, I have. That's some tea, sister. The interviewer asked what secrets were in that book, and Obama jokingly said, I would tell you, but I'd have to kill you. Okay, like, again, he might have meant it as a joke, but that's what a conspiracy theory is. And he might have not been joking. Every joke has some truth behind it, you know what I mean? Okay, even if the book doesn't exist, the president's date brief still exists, and it's real. Ford and Bush preferred in-person briefings, whilst Obama got his briefings from his iPad. That's the last conspiracy theory. That's the last conspiracy theory. I really hope y'all do not know about any of these, because I sure didn't. And that'd be kind of bad if y'all did, because what if they're like really popular and I didn't know about it? That'd be kind of super sad. Okay, but yeah, that's all my conspiracies for this video. I hope you girlies or boys or whoever you are enjoyed this motherfucking spooky sister video. So I'm not saying that any of these conspiracy theories are true. The only one that I 110% believe in is the cable thing. So please, don't kill me. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see y'all later.